All right, so we were talking about FM 102, and where did we leave off? It was
Well, I mean, we're talking. I was just wanting people to understand it was really revolutionary and cutting edge. That's why I have little to no respect for Howard Stern or any of these syndicated shows because they didn't do 1/10 of what we did, and no one gave me permission to do it. Yeah. My attitude is that you attack and you take what's not yours, and if people don't like it, you kick them in the face and take more. And that was my attitude in this morning show. And half the ad agencies in town hated us. We did classic bits, but I wasn't afraid to draw all of our clients in because it was free promotion. There were subtle digs, is the point I'm making, at different clients that were brilliant. Okay,
we used to do that all the time,
and we took on any client. And in today's day and age, you would never be able to do that.
Yeah.
Now in Seattle, when I went to Seattle and I took that on, Mike Preston asked me to come up, sign a station on it. It had been 30th in the market. Within a year, we had it at 4 overall. I left. It was, I think, 4th in the market. The morning show was 3rd. In Seattle, they went crazy immediately because I went in and took everybody on. I actually had Mick Jagger come down and meet me on the 80 bridge going into Bellevue because it's a walkway. You can ride your bikes. I had him come out, and you could go backstage and meet him if you could get onto the bridge and kiss Mick Jagger. Wow. So I created a traffic jam 20 miles one way and 10 miles in. But I mean, I didn't do it to piss off the drivers. I did it because the payoff was Mick Jagger and the Stones. Yeah. So for the 10% that complained, 90% loved it because they were stopping cars, taking pictures of Mick Jagger sitting with me kissing girls, right? So, you would never get away with that today.
Yeah,
never. And that's why radio doesn't have the listeners, because there was a compelling reason. But that's how you would never get away with this in today's radio, leading to why today's radio is screwed up. And
why does today's radio suck?
I'll give you the point. You ready? In the last 3 years, I've had 2 stations from New York 3 years ago offer me morning drive job in New York City on one of the top 6 radio stations. I turned it down. Last year, a station in LA offered me morning drive. And it's a big station. I turned it down. 3 weeks ago, and he knows the story, 3 of San Francisco's top 10 morning shows, radio stations, offered me morning drive. They said, you can pick your station that you want. The reason is that a number of people know me from what we did with the zoo. They know what I do now. But the reason I didn't take those jobs, I'm very, very busy in Asia. I have that going on. I have my NHL work going on. I have a lot going on. And I don't know if I could give up all of that to go back to a day-to-day. But these are 3 significant stations, okay? When I gave them the blueprint of how the zoo worked and how Chris Collins works as a morning guy and how a guy like B would work inside of that, I said, this is what has to go on either one of the 3 stations if I'm to be here. They looked at me, well, look at those bits you did. I said, there's no negotiation. If you don't agree to this, this, and this, I'm not going to be the morning guy. So this went on for 6 hours. They said, well, we hope you'll come back to us and agree to what our terms are. I said, I will never come back to you. You will never see me again. Okay?
What's so wrong about their terms?
Their terms are that you have to learn to get along with everybody in the station. Programming has to come over and tell you what's acceptable, what you can talk about. You never talk about clients. You can only talk about things that the bigger company based in Atlanta will let you talk about.
Oh, okay.
But we want you to be a star, Chris. And we want
to censor you, but at the same time,
I'll starve before I bend on those rules. I'll starve. I'll starve.
So do you think radio has a chance to survive if it were to bring back creativity?
Sure.
Or do you think the internet's just going to keep chipping away?
You just said you just gave the answer, and it's called radio internet or internet radio.
Yeah.
That's what's going to survive. The minute that Apple decides that now the car is the last place that they have to dominate, and or somebody like that, then it's over. Because then we will see your station flourishing along with 10,000 others. You see, politicians are famous for this, okay? And especially big ticket Wall Street companies are famous for this. They tell you that, listen, don't complain about the breaks we get, about the banksters, as you call them, on Wall Street. Don't complain because we're competing in the free market. We're putting our asses on the line and investing our money. Well, hey, I feel the same way. Let's put internet, 10,000 stations available in every car radio, and let's see how commercial radio competes. Once that's triangulated onto a thing that can hit a button, commercial radio, terrestrial radio is done. Goodbye, you're done. Go away. You destroyed an industry that was the industry for immediacy. It was the thing for our society. It made it tick. They destroyed it. That's why half of our kids are idiots. And they can't go out and think the world. That they have to be told by this, okay, turn right, go left. Because they're not trained to think anymore.
Yeah.
They're not trained to make a choice of what they can listen to, what they want. They have to be told all the time. Because of this kind of thinking, this Wall Street thinking. Which the rules only apply to them, by the way.
You got these corporations thinking that they don't realize that the basis of radio is theater of the mind.
Exactly. That's a great way
Goes
to
back
wrap
to
this
what
up.
we talked about with freeform.
It's a perfect way to wrap this up.
Yeah,
It is theater of the mind.
ties it all back together.
That's what we did every day.
Yeah.
It was theater of the mind because we felt, whether it was right or wrong, I felt that whatever we produced could be the biggest thing of the day.